Oh, I heard somewhere that what we're going through on the planet has happened on a few other planets, and they didn't succeed. So if you can give some comments, if there's some truth to this, and how things are more hopeful for us.
Yes, we are the Pleiadians, and it is important that we address this question because we often see that, especially now in the frequency field that's being created, humanity is purporting to tune in only to the negative aspects of Akashic history. The universe is so massive, and there are so many planets and star systems that have been around for generations of time, where great cataclysms have happened, but also very iconic transitions have taken place. So we do believe that what you are facing today runs very parallel to different cosmic experiences throughout time, yet you may only be tuning into the more cataclysmic ones as opposed to the very iconic ones. So to bring in a message of hope, we want to break down what we see taking place within the earth and within your personal holograms, because it is a very complex energy to observe as a physical being. But from our vantage point, we are looking at how energy is moving and how patterns are being formed. And we're going to step outside the definition of structure that we have used in the past and that has been spoken of previously by this channel, and speak to this in terms of creation. In order for creation to take place on any planet or within any race, constant expansion has to be the goal, because creation in itself is an expansive energy. So what's happened throughout time is when creation has been stalled in one area or another, a resistant energy forms that gives an ample opportunity for those on that planet or star system to understand better that their creation has been hampered. In some way or another, they've been led down a path where they are restricting their own potential. And this is what we see about humanity. You are always revisiting historic timelines. And for a great deal of time, what begins to happen is, if those historic experiences are not up-leveled or in some way changed, a great resistant force begins to build. So imagine that for years of time, humanity has been cycling in the same historic experiences, replaying them in different scenarios, but not ever creating them any different than what they were before. Even though the faces may change and the names may change, and the way the physical plays out may be slightly different than what it was before, your creative energy has somehow been suppressed in how you perceive the experience. When that begins to happen, this is where we see iconic transition or cataclysm begin to take shape. And this is where multiple historic timelines that have not been ascended collide. And this is a co-creative opportunity to begin to see yourself as creator again. But what is taking place right now on the surface of the planet is that creation has been stalled. It's been hampered. The suppressive energy that you feel is only a parallel to what you have experienced through multiple timelines that have yet to evolve. So for you right now, there are multiple opportunities, as there always are in any situation. So to give you a sense of hope, what we see is that you've created multiple potentials right now that may play out in multiple timeline experiences. And the polarity that is here may be causing you to see very black and white circumstances where you are either going to fail or you are going to succeed. But what we see is a series of successes and failures over the next several years that are going to level the playing field in order for you to usher in the new earth. Because that is how it happens. There are failures in your life that cause you to learn and grow so that you may be challenged to succeed. And those have to start in the microcosm of each human's personal life. So let's take Atlantis, for example, because we know that there have been many parallels drawn between cataclysms that happened in Atlantis and what's happening on the earth today. And yes, the original physical structure of Atlantis went through a deconstruction because the intention of those that were present in that civilization got so outside of the realm of service for all that it wasn't a natural evolution to expand. However, multiple timeline realities were born from Atlantis that still exist today. Atlanteans took different forms. They ended up in different timeline realities and grew and expanded in that way. And we do see a parallel beginning to take shape here, where two separate Earth realities are taking shape and form, and over the next several years will become far more visible and visual and even difficult to manage for some, that will end up creating what direction you are heading as a collective. Now, this is what we anticipate. And remember, what we're offering is a momentary realization, not something that is concrete, because you are deliberate creators. You have free will. In every moment, what you choose is implicating everything else. But at this moment, what we see is over the next several linear years, there will be a great divide in consciousness, whereby some humans will choose to live in one fashion and another group of humans will choose to live differently. The only difference between these two areas of consciousness that we see is suffering versus freedom. And this is already inherent in how the old structure is playing out. Because what you may find as you go into the coming year is that those that attempt to navigate the old structure are going to find themselves in difficulty attempting to achieve and comply, as well as receive and manifest what they need in order to sustain that reality. It is somewhat not sustainable. And this is how it differs from Atlantis. Because these two factions of Atlantis that split into different races and different beings had a more sustainable opportunity in different directions. So we do believe that more and more humans are going to move into a freer society because of the suffering they will face in attempting to uphold the old one. And that we don't take lightly, because we know that it doesn't come easy for a physical civilization to go through such a tremendous vibrational shift. But it is necessary, because you have made a deliberate timeline jump. And we want to state this very kindly and compassionately, because some of you have jumped in consciousness, but have been truly unwilling to interact with what you've created in a deliberate way, because it feels so different than what you've been used to or what you rely upon. Yet, it is quite necessary when you timeline jump to arrange your entire life to the beliefs and the physical structure around what you have just jumped to. And that is what is happening. From our standpoint, we do have hope that humanity will go in the right direction. We do see a huge amount of navigation in the energy you stand in today. And we do believe it is your personal birthright to choose the path that you desire. But the more you let go and unwind yourself from what was, more what will be will show up and support what is now no longer standing.